I have been doing research on security systems for either your business or property or home or whatever you want to call it, so that you can avoid situations like this. And after doing some research, trying to figure out what is the best option to choose from all the security systems for homes and businesses, I have came to the conclusion that Simply Safe is probably the best deal starting out. And I know what you've been thinking off the top of your head. Is that dog part of the program? And unfortunately, the dog is not part of the deal. So if you want to get the dog, you're going to have to get the dog on your own. Hopefully, maybe sometime in the near future, Simply Safe would reconsider and include a safety dog. That's just an idea to give it to them. Hopefully, maybe later down the line, you can get a package deal and get a protective dog, including like the security system itself. Now, with that being said, the next biggest thing that you might be asking yourself is how much money does it cost? And with SimpliSafe, it's just paying for the equipment, and you don't need to have a monthly subscription for the monitoring services. So you can spend all the money that you want on getting the cameras and the sensors and setting it all up or whatever. And with the no monitoring package that SimpliSafe offers, you still get live video of the sensors and the cameras and everything, and you'll get notified if any of those like sensors or whatnot get triggered. So then you can look and see what's going on. And then I talked to the representative over there, and they told me that if you do the no monitoring option, they don't help you with the dispatch for emergency services. But my thought is, if I see something, I just call it myself. So I don't really see the big deal. So that being said, it's definitely the cheapest one starting off, where you can just pay one time and get the stuff that you need, and then it kind of serves its purpose without all the extra stuff or the monthly payments that you would have to worry about if you kind of upgrade. Now we're going to move into the communication. So my other point was that if you live in the middle of nowhere and don't have any service or Wi-Fi or whatever, does the system still work in like a desert or in the woods or whatever? And so the system that SimpliSafe has, it does work where there's no signal service. So all the sensors and everything work on radar frequencies. So you have like the main brain, and then that sends radar signals to all the sensors, and then the sensors send radar signals back, so that it doesn't matter if you have signal or not. The system itself can talk to each other and send the information to the brain, so that it can like store the information and provide you updates if needed. So not a big deal. But if you do have Wi-Fi or a signal or service in your area, it's just a plus. All right, now we're going to go to the next point, and that's the power. So all you need is one plug-in for the brain. So only need one outlet to plug in the actual brain for the system, and all the sensors and cameras and everything else can be put out where you want them, and it only needs batteries, and that lasts for however long the battery lasts. And then you could spend a little bit more money and have those sensors and everything use solar panel, so that you would never have to worry about the power aspect. So boom, power, communication, money's cheap. Now we're gonna go to the next one. So with that being said, I was like, I need good cameras, and SimpliSafe doesn't provide the like 4K 3D, like super crazy high definition cameras, which I don't really see the value for. I just needed to be able to pick it up, see if there's something there, and have enough detail to kind of describe who the person is or what's going on. And these cameras are able to handle any kind of weather environment, and I kind of listed it out here. And it also has night vision as part of the deal, so it will be able to see at night, and you don't have to pay extra for it. So that's another reason why SimpliSafe is kind of leading the race so far. Going on to the next one is the memory. I kind of mentioned this a little bit earlier, but with the brain of the SimpliSafe kind of like security system, it will never run out of memory. So it will have like a memory bank, and then it will continue to record if something happens. And then once the memory is full, it'll just start cutting off the oldest stuff and just kind of filtering it down. So it'll never like cap out. So that's one of the good things that I would want from the system, so that it will never run out of memory. And if something did happen, it wouldn't like not save the videos or show me what was going on that I can use later on down the line if there was something legal that I had to do. And then, and then Bob the Builder. So all these people that you see, you don't need any of them. Not even one of them. You don't need to bring out the whole village to like put this together. And that one of the perks of this system of SimpliSafe is that it's mostly just peel off the packaging and like stick it on the wall or screw it into the wall and then put the batteries in, and you can do it yourself. You don't need to pay nobody to go do it. And it only takes like an hour or two depending on how much stuff that you buy. So yeah, that's another reason why I'm kind of leaning a little bit more SimpliSafe over the other systems, in that it's cheaper and it's kind of like straight to the point, and it's not the worst thing, but it's also not the best either, or the super high quality stuff. I just want the one that just gets the job done and doesn't need to be like super high tech futuristic protection systems or whatnot. So bam. And then I also wanted to put in, if you were interested in doing the monitoring systems, I'm not going to go and read through all the perks of it. I just wanted to focus on the pricing. So you got the Core, Pro, and Pro Plus. And green means it can do it, red means it doesn't do it. And then you just see the kind of, for the SimpliSafe Active Guard outdoor protection, you see that it's kind of like varies on when it's actually active or not. So you go from $0 a month to $33, $50, and then $80 essentially. And so, to be honest, I'm not really interested in the monitoring programs unless, I don't know, I really wouldn't see much of a reason for me to get it unless I'm like running some big gigantic operation that needs like constant surveillance. But for the Pro Plus, I would never really spend like $80 on kind of what they're offering. And I have some recommendations for the $80 Pro Plus price point for SimpliSafe. So if SimpliSafe offered some of these recommendations at the $80 price point, I think they would have me sold. So I'm gonna go into it for the $80 price point, just to, kind of like the dog thing, but a little bit more next level. So my recommendations for the Pro Plus is, I would want to get somebody to run up on people if they're in there trying to break into my apartment or house or business. So like, it'd be pretty cool to have like an iRobot kind of person just run up on somebody in the kitchen, or you got the RoboCop kind of holding it down so that no one would ever even think about coming inside, or give me the Iron Giant. One of those three, if that was included plus the dog, then I would consider the Pro Plus for SimpliSafe. And with that, that's pretty much a quick overview on the whole security systems. Maybe in the future I might change my mind, but as it stands right now, that is the system that I would choose currently. So I'll see you at the next one.